Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you basically about why gaming sucks and why a lot of video games nowadays are nowhere near as good as a lot of people think they should be. And I spoke about some of this in different ways in a previous video. But jumping straight into it, I think all the big developers, like people that are known, I say for an example, in the Battlefield franchise, if a developer made 5 Battlefield games, they're gone now. They've either moved on to other projects, they've either left the company, there's probably a multitude of different reasons, but there are a lot of developers that are known for big franchises and stuff, and they just don't work on the games anymore, they don't work in the companies. So those previous experiences we've had, the ones that have been really fun, there's absolutely no way of having that experience again, because the people have just left. Say for an example, I'll give you one example. In the Division 2, you had people that had their, certain roles. You had people making gear, you had people making game modes, people working on the simulated world, all that sort of stuff. There is a developer that worked on the gear side of things, known as Frederick Thylander, and that a lot of people would say, in their opinion, he made fantastic pieces of gear, and all that sort of stuff that he worked on. Well, he doesn't work on the game anymore. He left the game, I think it was actually before Warlords of New York released. So when it comes to gear, say the Division 2 was to carry on for 3-4 years, they just carried on making new stuff. Frederick Thylander's not there anymore, so the gear's not going to be the same. Because I spoke about this in a previous video, about the, new people that come into roles within the development studios, and say it's a higher up, like a content lead or something like that, someone that's like a head of a certain department, they'll come in and they'll have their own vision for development. So say the Division 2 is one of the best examples I can give, is one of my most played games of all time. But say you've got someone that leads all of the gear creation, and they say, we want your common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, exotic, all that sort of stuff. And then you have someone come in saying, no, I want tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, 4, 5, 6. That happens in a lot of games, and I believe I mentioned this in the previous video that I'm talking about. But you have Ubisoft's Skull and Bones, the pirate game that's been an absolute shambles for the last 10 years. It's been an absolute nightmare for Ubisoft to work on. And it was mentioned in an article I read about that game that you just have these people that come into these roles and they say, I've got this vision, I want this to be done. But then they'll get fired, or they'll leave their job, or they'll get moved onto another project or something. So someone's going to get replaced, and the replacement person that has their own vision comes in and says, no, I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I feel gaming sucks, because you just have developers that a lot of players within franchises will absolutely love. They make the best gear, they make the best missions, the level design, the sound, the artwork, all that sort of stuff. And they don't work on the games anymore. A lot of games, it feels as though, 5-10 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer, we had fantastic developers for, and now we've got a bunch of interns. So kind of when a game releases and there's no proper patches, the updates that come out break more than they fix, it seems as though they had a full-on development team to create the game, and then when it released, you have this skeleton crew, you have a B team. But alongside that, so developers leaving, you've got other projects being started, so they get just moved on. You have the fact that these games don't get a lot of time to be worked on. You have games that, like Anthem, it was stated that it was 7 years in development, 5 were pre-production, so only 2 years were actual development time. And you get all these development studios that are rushed by the publishers, the investors, all this sort of stuff. So the games are neglected because they don't have enough time to be worked on. And then you have people leaving and constantly coming back in. And it just, I don't know, these studios just don't seem to be consistent with their work. And it's a really big letdown because some games out there, I'd say a lot of games out there have huge potential, but it's just never used. And you have all these projects that sound fantastic and they get rejected, and then you have some that, they're going to make a little bit more money, and the publishers are like, boom, I want money, give me money. So I don't know, I feel that's why gaming sucks, but you guys are going to have to let me know in the comments what you think. That's going to do it for this video. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.